I don't smoke cigarettes, like, at all, almost at all anymore. But if I did, let's say, go out to maybe a smoky bar to have a drink, and relax, and I wore my favorite faux fur jacket for fun, and then I woke up the next morning and thought, oh God, what have I done? I would watch this video to find out how to clean this beauty. So you're at home with me today because I don't have a washer dryer hookup at the shop. So anytime that we need to wash things, business or personal, I bring them home. And this really is, God, one of my very favorite recent purchases. However, I, maybe like you, was fearful for a long time about how to clean fake fur. Like, I wanted to do the thing, the trendy, cute thing. I wanted to own it. But not knowing how to clean something is probably one of the biggest reasons that will keep me from purchasing a certain type of fabric, any kind of fabric. Now, what is fake fur to begin with? Very important. It is essentially plastic. It is polyurethane or polyester, combination of all of the different petroleum-based products that we make textiles out of for the lining, the actual fibers themselves. The fibers, very interestingly, are basically turned into kind of a paste and extruded into imitation fur. So if you ever wanted to know, that's the short story. The great thing about this jacket that I finally pulled the trigger on is not only is it fake fur, but it's also got a faux leather self-liner, which is great because both of those things are very scary to wash on our own. Now, yes, I know there's dry cleaning, but I don't want to have to depend on dry cleaning for the majority of my goods. That's with a kid right now, a toddler, not realistic for my lifestyle. So I want to know how to wash, how to care for, what to do with these different, more exotic pieces in my wardrobe. So today, we are gonna throw this thing in the washing machine, if you can believe it. We've got a polyester lining. Like I said, we've got the fake leather right there, and then we've got the fake fur on the outside. And we are really just going to start by looking at the tag, see what the tag says, but I bet you it's going to say hand wash, or maybe it will say dry clean. I've recently seen tags that say dry cleaning possible, so they're not even really committing to that, which I find a little entertaining. But we're going to start just by turning it inside out. And if it's got fasteners, I'm going to fasten that as well. Now, I will tell you, I've got a front loader. I'm going to show it to you, but I'm not worried because I don't have an agitator. If you have an agitator, so like a post or something in the middle of your washing drum, you may want to put this in one of those really large mesh garment bags, but I don't have that. It's just going to spin openly in that drum. And so I'm just going to go ahead and throw it in there. So let's go, jump down, do that, and I'm going to show you the settings, okay? Okay, we are down in the laundry room. Really, one of the most important things right now, other than the settings that I'm going to show you, is I also would not wash this with anything else. For a lot of reasons. Shedding, agitation from the other items, creating some sort of pilling or even worse, bald patches. So I'm gonna throw this guy in individually, or caveat, with towels. I don't know if you pile up your dirty towels and sink towels and crap like that, but I'd throw it in with that too. That'll give it just a nice little bit of soft agitation, but that's it. So throw that bad boy right in there. And then for me, oh, I've got an LG front loader. I really like it. But I don't think that the brand or anything like that is important for this at all. What is important is that it's cold, and I'm gonna go tap cold. So Essentially, it's dumping regular water straight in, and then I'm going to use a very little bit of detergent. So let's say I use liquid detergent because the pods don't give me enough control when I'm doing smaller loads, which I do a lot of because I wash a lot of things individually. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna have as little as a quarter cup or less. Even a quarter cup of soap is way too much. Eighth of a cup, so a couple tablespoons worth if you're eyeballing it. So I'm gonna dump that in and flip the camera around to show you this, okay? There we go. We got my couple tablespoons of soap in there. And then I have a delicates option. So I'm running it on delicates, but you could certainly just wash it normal. And then there is my tap, cold tap right in the center there. And then the rest, spin and everything I'm gonna leave on. And just run it, baby. All right? Godspeed, little guy. We'll see you in a couple of minutes, all right? Okay, while that's running, we're gonna talk about next steps. So first, absolutely positively not gonna put it in the dryer. Heat plus plastic, that's gonna go terrible. So for me, under no circumstances do faux fur or faux leather go in the dryer, ever. They just don't. They are predominantly made of plastic. That is not gonna work. So what are we gonna do to get the fur that is now wet and going to come out wet? What are we gonna do to fluff it back up and give it that beautiful furry look? The same thing you do with your own fur. This right here is what we in the biz call a hairbrush. We're gonna brush it. This is just a bristle brush that I use. I have fine hair, so I got a lot of these puppies laying around. You could certainly use one that's got the plastic bristles, like the harder ones with the little, you can use anything. Something that is like bristly like this or imitation boar, anything like that, that's gonna be your best bet. So once we get that little cutie out of the washer, I'm gonna let it air dry for a little bit until it's about 75% of the way there. So I'm gonna lay it flat, let it dry. If you can let it dry outside, bonus points, because the fresh air is great for a lot of reasons. Direct sunlight, even better. Getting direct sunlight and fresh air on any clothing at all is often a very good thing. Helps freshen it up, kill bacteria, dry it with that fresh air scent. It's just generally wonderful for textiles. And then we're gonna take this little baby and fluff it to perfection, okay? So let's go check on how our washer is doing and we will go from there. Okay, little baby, how did we do? So I'm pulling it straight out. You can already see, I won't say it's matted, okay? But it's got exactly the wet dog look that you anticipated, that you thought it was gonna look like. So I'm gonna take this up to my sunroom and get that laid out. Alrighty, little beauty. So again, I've got this laid out here in the sun, in the sunset. And I am gonna let that dry for, gosh, I'm gonna come out here and touch it a couple of times, but why don't we call it an hour? So get yourself a cocktail and we'll check it again when we're at least 50% dry. Okay, we've got our cutie little wet dog. It's getting drier, but obviously it still doesn't have the texture that we want. So what I'm gonna do is I am literally just going to start brushing. As soon as I start, you can see right away. You see that side? Right here? Let's do another color. That's the other thing about this specific fur. This is so great because you can see how much it's making a difference just as you start going from all of the different multicolors. Now, I'm gonna go in every direction as I brush, and I'm finding that some of the areas are a little bit still too wet. That's okay. we're getting there. So I'm gonna let this, now that I've gotten to feel it a little bit, I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit longer, and then we'll keep going and do a little final reveal. Okay, a little bit of a different angle here so that you can get more of a full view of this while I'm brushing. But now I've let it go long enough. It is nice and dry. So again, all I want you to see is literally that I am brushing and then twisting and brushing and twisting, getting under every direction and under like the arms and the areas that will have friction as they're rubbing while you're wearing it. Very important. But truly, 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 I don't want you to think I'm doing anything other than what exactly it looks like I'm doing, which is just brushing, brushing, brushing. Now, the only downside of this is you are going to find out how high or low quality your fake fur is by doing this, because you're going to see a lot of shedding. Maybe in the air, a little bit on the brush. Brush is fine. Into the air, that's a little bit rougher because it does mean that you're losing a lot of fur when you're out and about. Honestly, probably not something to worry too much about. If you really like it, just keep wearing it till it's bald. Who cares? And that's just something you're going to notice. So if you're losing fur, just be aware, maybe brush a little bit softer, but know that this process, unfortunately, is going to do that. But do you want to get to have it clean? Do you want to wear it without previous cigar or cigarette smoke in it, as I do? Then it's worth it. And I will say the process of, I won't call it weaving the fur because that wouldn't be appropriate, but like adhering the plastic fur fibers to the fabric backing is decent. It's usually knitted on in some way. They also do that with real fur. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that the risk is relatively low. If you know that you didn't pay very much for it, then you know you did it. So just take care as best you can. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit more on my collar here and then put this bad boy on. All righty, a little more touching up in the near. And I think we are good to go. What I love about the fact that I'm doing this with a straight up hairbrush is that I can even do this on vacation. So if I wear it, I'm traveling and I wash, I'd even be I'm willing to wash a lot of things in the sink with a little bit of generic hand soap. So this would be something that I'd consider doing because I know that I can brush it back out. Thank you for joining me on this one. I hope it was fun. I hope it was easy. And thank you so much. See you at the next one.